Hello. Let's see. Let me. No, that doesn't do it. Hold on 1 second, guys. There we go. Okay, that helps a little bit. Let's see. How many folks? We got 14 folks on so far. Daryl says, oops, welcome back. Thank you. Tim says holding. Okay, well, the holding on is ended now, I think. What were you holding on to? Desk, the computer. How do y'all like this cat in a can behind me with flowers? Isn't that cute? That's some straight up like 70s, late 70s, early 80s decor right there. Mom is still rocking it, even though it's 2019.
That's my era.
She says that's her era. She's over there. Let me see. There's Mom drinking her coffee. She fixed me some too. So she is here. If y'all have any questions for her, post trail. Fancy's here too. If y'all have any questions for her. Of course, I don't know how much she can talk back, but she'll try. She'll try. So let's see. Hey there. How are you and Mom doing? I am doing fine. I feel like I'm still catching up on sleep, honestly. You want to come over and I want to hear this from Mom because I asked her. There are like a million cords here. Sorry, Mom.
That's okay.
I asked her how she feels post-hike. So I guess, do you want to say that?
Yeah.
Like, does it feel weird adjusting back? I asked her a couple days, like the next day, I guess, the day after we got home, if it felt weird being home, and she said, yeah.
It does, because, 2 months is a long time, but it seems like I've been gone a lot longer.
It does.
And it kind of felt like weird walking back into my house. It's like it's my house, but it almost like it wasn't anymore.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like...
It doesn't feel right, yeah. It
Yeah.
felt weird. And then it's like also... I kept like feeling, okay, when are we going out again? It just didn't seem like it was over.
Like, this is just a pit stop before
Right.
you got to go again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's going to be time to go again.
Because when for 2 months you've put yourself in that mindset of like, hurry up and hike. Hurry up and hike.
Hurry up, go sleep somewhere, wash clothes, pack up, and go again.
Yeah, yeah. It just... over and over, and so it's hard to like break away from that mindset.
And the road trip was very long coming back. So I really don't even want to ride in a car very much right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess that's one interesting thing is that we had so much riding in a car also in between places that normally when you go on a thru hike and then or a long distance hike and then you get to ride in a car, you're like, whoa, I got to Walmart so much faster than had I walked there.
Right.
But I guess with us driving across the country, it's still just exhausting.
And it's just the ride. Even the riding in between was okay, but the ride home was
that was rough. Well, y'all, Mom kicked butt. Mom drove way more hours than I did.
I don't know that I did.
I knew you did. And she was a trooper. She's ready to get home and see Carolina, who is eating better now that Mom's home. Mm-hmm. So that's good. But yeah, do you feel more normal being here now, or is it still weird?
No, it's then got normal again.
Yeah. But does it feel like, do you feel like anything is different perspective-wise? It might take a little while to really notice any of that. Like, are you happier to sleep in a real bed and to flush a toilet, or does it not really?
No.
Yeah.
Sleeping in a real bed, that's good.
Yeah.
Sleeping in my bed feels comfortable. Or my recliner.
Do you like, are you happy to be like home? Everyone thinks, I feel like a lot of people in Alabama are like, Alabama is the best place in the entire world, but they've never been anywhere. So does it make you feel kind of like it's more special now that you have gotten to see other stuff and you're like, yeah, that's all cool and fun, but I like home? Or
yes.
Yeah.
I loved it while I was out there. I enjoyed seeing all the different things.
Do you still want to live in Idlewild?
Kind of.
Well, that's awesome, yeah.
Kind of, yeah, because I love that little place.
Yeah.
But there's no place like home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even the humidity, I'm like, wow, you know, it didn't really hit me that bad. Like I thought it would when we got back. But,
yeah.
But one good thing, I have lost about 10 pounds.
Ah!
Yes.
I didn't know exactly how much it was. I know that you talked about your weight the other day. But
yes.
That's good.
It's about 10 pounds. So.
And that was eating whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted, huh?
It was.
Pretty much.
But I worked the weight off.
I know. And she was like, I'm going to have a Coke today. And like, you had a lot of Cokes while we were out there, but I mean,
I did.
It didn't.
Well, I probably would have lost a lot more if I would have, you know, stayed on some kind of
like healthy diet.
Except
like if while you were hiking you had cheated and then the rest of the time, like in town, you had been better, you might have lost more, but like you did what you want and you lost 10 pounds. Yeah.
And also, heck no to not being good in town. That's when I wanted to be bad the most.
I know, right? Yeah, no, it's true. Like, I really want ice cream right now. Or it's been hard for me eating right coming back this time. Yesterday I was fiending for sugar.
Really?
That normally doesn't happen, yeah.
Well, I guess because I've lost the 10 pounds and I want to keep going because I really wanted to lose 20, but you know.
Well,
so I've actually been eating better since I've been back.
I don't normally lose much weight, but I lost I think 7 pounds on this trip. Yeah, but I had also gotten a little fluffier. Like I had gotten the fluffiest I've been for a while. Like I'm at like 127 right now. I think it was 135 before I left.
Wow.
Yeah. So is that?
Well, we worked
that's
hard.
8 pounds.
I mean, even with
pounds.
you on those 270-mile stretches, you know, you had to kick butt and hurry and do it, you know.
Yeah.
And you weren't used to doing that. So.
No, not at that time for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Congrats on being an official Triple Crowner. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to submit my paperwork. Rhonda, was it what you expected? Daryl says.
It was a little bit harder, I think, than I expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. And
what part was harder? Just the physical?
No, the part that's harder for me, and you know what I'm going to say.
Breathing?
No, not even that anymore. The rock beds. The rocks. I cannot walk on rocks without rolling my ankle every time.
Or laying out.
Yeah, that too.
That one belly flop. That was great though. Like I was impressed. He laid out and then just like flopped over.
I looked and see.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's the rock beds. Those are the worst. I just cannot walk on those. And you know, every time I would run across that, I would be like,
oh no.
And it's not even the uphill as much. It's just the rocks.
Yeah. Suzanne says, hi, y'all. Welcome home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Patrick says, Roar family all here. So the whole shebang, the whole tribe. Well, hi, y'all. Thomas says, Fancy, did your mom capture your reunion with Hank on video? Somebody did, didn't they? I captured a little bit of it, and then one of y'all captured. She was licking his face off, yes.
Somebody got it. There was just too much going on when we got home because all the kids were here.
Me seeing Hank, and us seeing the family, and Fancy seeing Hank, and Mom seeing Carolina.
And everybody going, look what we did.
Yeah, wanting to show us everything. And we're like, go away.
Yeah, so it was like
overwhelming.
Quiet in the car and quiet camping, and then all of a sudden hiking. And
madness when we got home.
It was like wide open.
Yes. That's how I always feel when I get done with a hike and then I come here. I'm like, hi y'all.
Now I know how you feel.
Yeah, it's just you get used to solitude and then okay. But yes. So I think we have one of those somewhere. I will find out from Montana.
Yeah, because they were videoing. So our three.
Yeah, our little three. What are we? A pack. Yes.
Yeah, our little
pack. This is a little pack.
Yeah,
that's what Fancy says we are. Okay, let's see.
Well, she heard her name and she came.
Yeah, she did.
She came to try
I
to
know.
answer the question.
Yeah, she came to answer your question. That's what it was. Let's see. And are you holding to your newfound trail confidence, or have you reverted to your frightened old self? No, I think she's held on to the confidence for sure. She is much more waggy now, like her tail, she's happier. And then also you can do things to her, like right now I'm rubbing her belly, and she's not doing the cow eye thing. She's not doing the...
She's not freaking out.
Yeah, rubbing the belly. And we're not freaking out at all. Like we're just chilling. We're not freaking out. And so stuff like that. Also this morning after I took a shower, I put a towel on her and she walked around with it on her, like whatever. But before it would have freaked her out. Or before if I petted her belly, she would jump off the bed and go hide in her kennel. And she would sit there for a while. It was like she was scarred for a few minutes. But yeah, she's not, I can't say she's not doing any of that, but it's not as extreme. Like even if it's a time awkward because I'm rubbing her belly, she doesn't like run away. It's just she looks kind of awkward, and then when it's over, she's like, "Oh, I didn't die," and she's okay. So, but yeah, I think we're doing good. You know, dogs that aren't originally in her pack from when she was a puppy, we're still gonna have some work to do on that. But I think with her having more confidence in herself and that helping, the medication helping, her being closer with me and mom and getting used to new humans and stuff like that, I think that going to do some kind of aggression training we're gonna be a few more steps ahead than we were.
Definitely.
So I think that, yeah. So we're gonna keep on working on her.
Well, you know, and I noticed something too on the trail. If we met people going the opposite way of us, she was more accepting. And if people kind of came from behind us, she was like a little more skittish.
It freaked
She's
her
like,
out more.
Yeah, she wasn't sure about somebody coming up behind her. So.
You know, I wonder though if the whole time they had been coming up behind, if she would have been the opposite, weird about them coming from the front. You know, it's like because she gets set in her ways.
Yes, because the majority of the time it was people going the opposite way.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, because like but this was a dog that was afraid to eat dinner in a different room than normal. In my home, I could feed her in her kennel in my bedroom, and that was completely normal. I could move it to the kitchen, and she'd stare at her food and not eat, simply because it was located in a different room. So yeah, so she's really come a long ways. The other Dixie says, "Oh yeah, I made it for Q&A. Q for your mom. How was the trip? Best, worst." That's so hard, isn't it?
Yes. The best, I think, was Crater Lake. That was
a good grand finale.
Yes, it was, but it's so breathtaking, and it's just like it doesn't look real.
No.
I mean, it's just beautiful.
Like you almost feel like you have to go jump in the water and swim to Wizard Island and stand on Wizard Island to feel like it's real.
Yeah. Yes, because it looks like a backdrop.
I know. I wish that we could have done the boat tour on it. That would have been
nice.
That would have been really
and
cool.
the worst was the mosquitoes. Oh my gosh, the mosquitoes were awful.
They really were.
Yeah.
We finally got some picaridin. I didn't mention that, but we got some picaridin for the last, I guess, 2 stretches for section 8 and 9, because 8 we ended up, we used it on 8 some, but they weren't that bad.
No.
But 9, at Crater Lake we didn't even use it.
No, at Crater Lake we didn't use it at all. There were a few.
Yeah, it got a little, but after you've had it so bad, you're like, I only have 10 mosquitoes on me right now. I don't need bug spray.
But I think at Crater Lake it was just like in certain areas. You know, like one little area is like, okay, mosquitoes are getting me a little bit. And we were like holding out going, well, maybe it'll get better. And then it did. It did.
Well, as soon as it opened up, because the first 3 miles of the Rome Trail was kind of forested, like.
Yes.
And kind of desert-ish, too, though. It was like desert-ish, forest-ish.
Yes. That's the worst part.
Yeah, and you're exposed, so there are trees, but you're not really shaded. And
Yeah, that was the worst part of the Crater Lake.
Yeah.
Trail.
But then after we got to the open,
yeah.
Of course, then it was hotter, but whatever. It was pretty.
I prefer heat over mosquitoes.
Agreed. Fancy. I don't know if she agrees or not, but
yeah,
I definitely agree. Congrats to you, your mom, and Fancy. I enjoyed following you with your mom. Well, thank you, Ruth. Marjorie says, welcome home. So proud of both of you. Thank you. And Tim says, are you wanting to travel now?
Yes.
Really? You think
Yes.
you're going to be itching to see more new stuff now?
Yes.
These are questions I haven't even asked her yet. So
yes, well, I've always wanted to travel. I really having 5 children and mom and dad to take care of.
Yeah, because Nanny and Papa, you took care of them for
10 years.
10 years.
Mm-hmm. It, you know.
And it seemed like anytime we would go out of town somewhere, like we went to the beach one time, and it just seems like that's when things would happen. Yeah, yes. Whenever we left. And so we left and went to the beach, and Nanny fell down, y'all. This is where we get our stubbornness from. My nanny, who was in her 80s, fell down. Well, I guess she was 80 then, probably, right? About 80. Fell down, and she took care of my papa, who was basically, legally blind and deaf and had emphysema, COPD. So she ran all around taking care of him. But we had gotten all the food they'd need for the weekend, and it was in the house and whatever. We set them up for success. Like, Nanny fell down and broke her hip, but she didn't know that she had broken her hip. She just knew she fell down and she couldn't get up and walk on it. And she continued to take care of him for at least a day, at least 24 hours, crawling around on the floor, y'all, pulling herself up and fixing him food, and then taking him his food by crawling on the floor. And then, did she sleep on the floor next to the bed?
Yes, she did.
Slept on the floor next to the bed. And then finally the next day, she said, oh, hon, I didn't want to ruin your trip, but I fell down. But she had always said, if I can't walk, I'll crawl, and she did. But anyway, so we came on home. But it's like, you just can't, especially if she's not willing to tell us that she fell down and her hip was hurting that bad.
Yes.
Like, we couldn't go out of town and trust her to tell us something bad had happened.
And then I called a friend/neighbor to come over here and take care of her until we got home, because we were on the way home. She wouldn't go to the door. She wouldn't open the door.
I don't remember
yes.
that part.
Yes, that was Sandra, Ray's wife. Yes, she would not go to the door. And purposely, because she was stubborn. She wasn't going to have anybody else take care of her until I got home.
So that's where we get it from, y'all. Okay, so let's see. It was to be a fun to dine the way you want.
That's true. See?
Yeah,
that is true.
That is true. Yeah. Well, then I don't feel guilty for all that.
Yes, thank you.
McDonald's.
My
Tim
guilt
said
is erased.
fluffy equal.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah, he's fluffy. Yeah. Are you now going to start planning for the El Camino trip? What are your updated dates of travel, and where are you starting from? How did Montana say this? Saint Jean. Do you know how to say that?
Pierre de Port.
It's not Spanish though.
Well, it's still.
Or is it? No, that's France. So
it doesn't matter.
Saint Jean.
That PIED looks like foot.
It looks like pied to me. Or peed. But anyway, yes. So yes, our aim is to start there. We are flying into Paris. I believe it's September the 4th that we're leaving. So yeah, that's the plan. And yes, we are. Montana and I are sitting down Sunday before family dinner and going over some of that stuff. So kind of put all of the final details. That means I'm
making family dinner by myself.
Oh, Rebecca will help you. Yeah, I mean, or we can do it a couple hours before, whatever.
Kidding.
Yes. Hey, you haven't had to make one in a while, so
I've been making dinner every night since we did that because.
But not on Sunday.
No, I haven't. But everybody's been hungry, starving to death. So I made boneless pork chops one night. I made
some country style ribs.
Really? Mm-hmm. I made some chicken breasts.
Yeah. Better than that motel food.
Yeah. But the kids are like, oh my God, real food.
Yeah.
Mom's back.
Yes. I can tell you they appreciate her much more now.
Oh, that's good.
I can tell you they do. But yeah, so we're going to start planning the rest of the details, like do we have all the gear we need type stuff for that on Sunday. But the September 4th is the date we fly out for that. Karen says, I might have missed it, but did Mom get a trail name? Yes, Wander Mama, which was like, she became it. If not, she'd have Snake Toe, because she had this toe.
I don't like that.
I know, I'm just kidding. She doesn't like that. But she has this toe that, like, it degloved itself. It, like...
It's all good now.
Yeah.
I even did my own
Oh,
pedicure.
you did
Look.
do your pedicure. It looks
Yeah,
rough
see?
still, though, Mom. You need a real one. But yeah, her toe just, like, peeled itself. But it was the coolest thing. I was like, Mom, you're a bad A. Her toe... You are! That's awesome! But anyway, so, but did y'all see that video of her boot sock? Her sock that just stood up stiff.
My friends were giving me hell about that
Yeah,
yesterday.
that's
They loved it.
hilarious. So let's see, where are we at? Okay. Reading about Fancy's reunion with Hank warmed my heart. I'm so glad she adjusted well to the hiker lifestyle. Yeah, I'm so glad that she did and didn't maul Hank when we got back.
That's so funny because she just walked back over here again.
Yeah,
like
she did. She
gonna
knew
have a
she was getting
question.
talked about. Yeah. Fancy, are you helping with the Q&A? Was that the first time Mom and Fancy had seen snow? Doesn't it snow in Alabama? No, it's not the first time they've seen snow for sure. I think Fancy had only seen it one time before though.
Yes,
It
and you need to
snows like
find that
every few
video
years
again.
here. It's usually like that much, just a dusting, just
Like
enough
an
to like
inch.
look at in the morning before the sun hits it, kind of thing.
Except then everything closes down in the town.
Yeah.
Because we don't have snow plows and
Yeah,
the roads
it's not worth investing in that. But.
Yeah, because we don't get, so everybody prays for snow and then everything's closed and everybody stays home and eats soup and drinks hot chocolate.
Yeah, and makes snow cream.
Yes.
Like you collect what snow you can that doesn't have that much dirt in it.
Now in the 70s, we have...
Well, in the 90s there was a blizzard.
There was
here.
a big snow.
Yeah, because we came up here for Thanksgiving and there was, and we made a snowman, but it was such hard packed snow that we had to like.
Or it was too fluffy.
It was fluffy. Yeah, I guess it was fluffy.
It was too fluffy
yeah,
it wouldn't stay
It wouldn't
together.
like form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like dry. That's right.
I
remember trying to make a snowman.
The 70s and then the 90s, and I mean, so what? Every 20 years we get like a big snow for us, something like this,
They couldn't see your bottom hand. Bigger, wider than the phone. Yeah, wider than the phone.
But yeah, she has a video of Fancy.
Yeah, playing
in this little dusting of snow. So we should have known how
I should have known, but I had honestly forgotten about that. But yeah, so we've seen some. But I bet you when she sees it again, she's gonna be like even more thrilled now that she's gotten to play in a good bit of it.
Yeah, we didn't get any snow last year, so we might get something this year.
Cross our fingers. Rick says, "Hey Dixie, a midday Q&A. Woohoo! Yeah, I try to mix it up. It seems like I do evenings, for a while, especially when I'm at home. So I was like, I'm gonna try to mix it up a little bit. But next time maybe we'll do it in the evening for those folks who couldn't be here today. Proud of you, Rhonda. Rick says, great job. We do still need to come up with a trail name, Dixie Mama. Yeah, I think Wonder Mama.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Wonder Mama, but
yeah.
I don't. We need to find out who said that.
Yeah, who was the original?
The one that actually suggested
whose fault is it?
Yeah, it was somebody on here.
It was. Daryl says at Rick, hopefully they decided on Wonder Mama. Yeah. Carrie says, agree with Daryl, thought she'd been dubbed Wonder Mama. Yeah. Rick says, yeah, Wonder Mama, I like it.
I do too.
RJ says, does Mom like ramen noodles?
Yes, I do.
You didn't have any? Oh, yeah, you did have some the last on the trail.
But I had the fancy ones.
Yeah, it was the fancy ones.
The
we didn't cook fancy, but like fancy ramen noodles.
Yes, it was one of the bowls that has like the veggies mixed in it.
Yeah, it was kind of like highfalutin ramen noodles.
Yes, and that's the night you carried the can of soup.
Yeah, Campbell's soup when we already had like pounds and pounds of water.
Yes,
so
but
I had six. So 6 times 2.2 is 12, 13.2. Oh
man,
is that right? Anyway, it's a
lot.
Yeah.
And then she carried that big can of chunky Campbell's soup.
Yeah.
Because she wanted it.
Because I wanted it. Sometimes you do what you want
when you're popping.
That's what the kids say these days. Okay. Daryl says I would have had to shoot that sock. standing up all creepy. We wanted to.
Well, if it started walking, I really probably would have stabbed it with my knife.
Patrick would be proud of me for that. Oh my gosh, that'd be creepy. Y'all are I'm gonna have nightmares about a sock walking and getting stabbed in the non-existent toe and bleeding or something. Let's see. Congratulations. Very excited for you for finishing those fire closures. Also looking forward to your That is awesome. Yeah, I'm getting pretty excited for it too. Do you wish you were going to Spain, or are you glad you're having a break? You wish you were going maybe a year from now or 6 months?
No, I would go.
Really? Would you?
Yeah.
If you didn't have to work.
Yeah.
If you didn't have to work, you could. I know Montana.
Yeah, Montana's not going to have to do as hard of work as I did.
No, she's not.
She's just going to have to walk.
That's all you did.
Yeah, but
no, the driving.
Well, no,
the driving,
but she's not gonna be.
She's not gonna have to do
trails
in the woods
like I did.
No, she's not.
And then, yeah.
You're just cooler than she is, Mom.
I'm just a bigger badass than she is.
You heard it. You heard it yourself right here. Okay. Let's see. How is Fancy changed by the experience? I think that she's just more confident. I think she's more confident. I think she trusts us more. So she used to be very obsessed with Hank, and that was one of the things too I was hoping to gain from this trip, is her to feel closer to us, because Hank is 12 and a half, and as much as I want him to be here forever, and I would take the years I have left and give him the other half. Speaking of Hank, here he is. There he is. Hank, say hi, buddy. Oh.
Yeah, he came over a little bit.
Oh, quit licking his face. Quit licking his face. Oh.
Yeah, I have noticed since just from you guys coming over here today, that she's not
as clingy to Hank.
Right.
Yes.
She's walking around doing her own thing.
Yeah.
Whereas before,
it was just wherever Hank would lay down, she'd be right there.
Right.
And that's
and actually touch him.
And so he was laying in the living room there, and Fancy was curled up under my feet right now. So I'm just like, yes, like I want her to feel comfortable with us without Hank. Without having to have that.
And I noticed something also, like on these last 2 months. Well, she loves me, but she's definitely mama's girl, and
unless it's dinner time, because she knows that Granny spoils her more.
Well, that's
and
true.
Even while sleeping at night, she knows that Granny is willing to give up more of her sleeping pad.
Yes.
And she knows that, I don't know, she just likes to sleep with my mom. It's funny because she might start on the bed I'm on, but then in the middle of the night she might end up on Mom's bed, or she might just stay on Mom's bed the whole time.
Yeah.
Don't lick his face.
But like when we were actually walking.
Yeah. If Mom tried to walk away.
Yes, if I tried to walk away, she was like, right after me, because she knows that, I'm first, she's right behind me, and then Jessica's right behind Fancy. And that's just how we walk, so I could set the pace, because she would run off and leave me otherwise.
I would not.
But if I walked ahead, she would be concerned about it and be worried, and she would kind of run back and forth. But if I got, if she was down videoing, doing something, sometimes I would just, go on because I knew she would catch up with me. But Fancy would stay with her, But she would kind of run back and forth, I guess, that way. But if she went first, if Jessica went first, then they got ahead. I would, not be too far away. But Fancy would stay with her.
Yeah, she would look back for Mom, but she wouldn't run back.
Yeah, she didn't run back and forth like she did.
And if Mom put on the leash and tried to walk away from me, she bucked and acted a fool.
Oh my God! I kept telling her you don't.
I'm like,
you
go
don't
with
know.
her, Mom.
You don't understand. And then one time she saw I was trying to pull her with the leash, and she was just put on brakes. And she's like trying to pull a pack mule.
Well, the main thing was when there were so many mosquitoes, I would try to break down the tent, and I'd say, "There's no sense in y'all standing here getting eaten up by mosquitoes. Just go ahead and start walking, and I'll break down the tent, and I'll catch up with you in a minute." And so Mom would try to drag Fancy along so that she could keep fanning her from the mosquitoes. And Fancy was just stubborn as a mule.
She would not go. And then also sometimes when she talks, and she's videoing just herself talking, I would try to get ahead to give her a little peace and quiet. And Fancy's like, oh no, I'm waiting on my mama.
But I'm glad that she feels like more comfortable with us for sure. So, and also I think that she's realized like, hey, maybe I can avoid other dogs. Like I don't have to have an altercation. I can just walk my way and they walk their way, and it doesn't have to be a bad experience, So I think that has probably helped with that.
I mean,
some
she's
too.
definitely better.
Yeah,
she's definitely better.
How is Carolina doing?
Carolina, physically, as far as how she acts, I think she's doing a lot better. And I don't know that it's just because I'm home, but she wouldn't eat the KD food very well, and she was like going without eating.
That's kidney diet. It's like a prescription food for dogs that have bad kidneys.
And I think that she was getting weak because she wasn't eating very well. But the doctor said, well, at some point you just start adding boiled chicken into her food, and I shred it up. So because I'm doctoring up that food, she's eating better, and I think she's got more energy now because she is eating more, and I know I'm probably doing more damage to her kidneys.
By her having more protein, but there's like that fine line of, well, she has to eat to be healthy or to maintain some kind of energy, but as little protein as possible to not do more damage quickly.
I'm trying not to put, but she's, she won't eat it without the chicken in it now. And so I know there's going to come a point where I'm going to have to end up just feeding her what she wants and make her happy. And that's what the vet said. But all in all, I think her spirits and her energy level is doing much better now. So I have to take her, I'm supposed to take her back in. I was actually supposed to take her back in this week, but I'm going to wait and take her in next week and have her levels checked again. Yeah. Just thank you for asking.
Oh. You'll like Spain too. It's beautiful. Yes, I'm excited.
I'm so jealous.
Well, it'll still be there.
Yeah.
Also, keenly anticipating your Camino hike. It's one of the hikes on my to-do list. Awesome. Yeah, I felt like not many people would necessarily want to watch it. This is going to be a different thing to capture for sure. But I kind of felt like, man, are people going to want to see it if it's not like wilderness? But it sounds like a lot of people have thought about doing the trail, so hopefully
it's
be good
different too. So
it's just going to be a new thing for me, like on how to capture this and convey the experience.
That's good
it's exciting.
Yes, absolutely. And people that can't do it, or people are going to want to see what it's like.
Right. John says, do you know of any other hikers that had to complete the total trail before submitting for your certificate? That fact alone made me so proud of you. Thank you. Hit wrong button. I was proud of you ever since following your AT hike. Have followed any vid I can, even the microgreens. Oh, thank you. I can't say what other people have done. I know that the man that I spoke to with ALDA, when I was at AT Trail Days, there's a man that works for ALDA, which is the American Long Distance Hikers Association. I had to visualize it in my mind. Yeah. But he worked for them, and he was like, congrats on being a Triple Crowner. And I said, well, not yet. I have to still fill in the fire closure areas. I have to connect my footsteps at least. And he said, you're not serious, are you? Like, you're kidding me, right? And I said, your website clearly states that if there are fire closure areas, you have to connect your footsteps. You have to have a continuous footpath on all 3 trails. And so I had to get that, or I have to get that. And he was like, nobody cares about that. And I was like, well, I do. So I can't tell you for sure. I would go out on a limb and say that all of the 400 or however many Triple Crowners there are probably do not have, I wouldn't say it's 100% completion rate as far as connecting footsteps. So, but for all intents and purposes, if you do what you consider a thru hike on all 3 trails, and it doesn't have to be a through hike, right? Like you could section for 50 years if you wanted to, and it would still be a triple crowner as long as you have a continuous footpath on all 3 trails. But I would say that not all of them have, continuous footpath on all 3 trails and still consider themselves triple crowners. But to me, when there's a blatant definition of what something is and the criteria, you do it. And so I couldn't feel good about submitting that paperwork. For all intents and purposes, yes, I thru hiked all 3 trails, which most people refer to as the Triple Crown, but I could not submit my application to, this organization unless I had actually completed the criteria that they list for what it takes to achieve this and get the award from them. So that's, I felt like that I had to. But thank you. I very much appreciate that. I really do. Because, it would have been real easy to just be like,
And it was not easy to get all of this done.
No, and to go back.
I can tell you that...
to go back is rough.
Yes, and it was probably, just from my perspective, it was probably harder for you to get this done.
More stressful.
Because, because of the planning, and we got to jump from here to here, and then there's so much snow
and
Oregon,
here,
so
and
we jumped up to Washington and communicating and trying to figure out
Find
where these
shuttles
areas are, and there was just so much thought and hard work put into it before it could even be done. So,
but it's hard to convey that, you kind of have to be there doing it.
It wasn't as easy as, I'm just going to drive right here and we're going to do this.
Yeah,
car had to be parked somewhere, and we had to get to the other end and then hike to the car. Yeah. And it was just a lot of work, and she just did it like a boss, though.
Like a boss. Thanks, Mom. High five. Oh no, but Mom drove most of the places in between. Like she drove the majority of stuff so that I could sit down and go, okay, I got to figure out how we're going to get there, and I got to figure out who's going to take us, where we're going to park the car, where's the best place to keep the car, and is to find somebody to shuttle us if we couldn't do it ourselves and hitchhike and all that stuff. So if I didn't have her helping me, this would have taken me so much longer. So thank you. No, for real though. But so I know she didn't know where we needed to go or whatever, but she did what she could and drove and stuff like that. So it was definitely some teamwork for sure. But Sean says, thank you. Or I think you may have answered this in an earlier video, but would you take fancy backpacking again? Not on a long trail, but maybe on a shorter week-long trip. Yeah, for sure. And in fact, I would like to. Like, I feel like it would be not fair to her to open her up to that world and then
take it away.
Yeah.
Because she really enjoys it.
She does. And I can tell now that, before, if you locked her in her kennel, it's like she felt very comfortable there. And now she's like, let me out of here. Like, I want to be with you. I want to hang out. Let's go walk. Let's go do stuff, So.
And then just the look on her face, when I would say, ready? Let's go.
Ready? Let's go.
Yeah, she gets so hyped.
And even when we started messing around with the packs and, started getting stuff loaded up, she would sleep hard. But when she really started seeing, okay. And then we'd be like, all right, let's go. She was just on fire. Let's do it.
But then, just like us, when she saw that car at the end of the trip,
she was crying and ready to get it.
She was ready to get in that car.
Yeah, so definitely.
So she's ready to go and ready to be done too,
yes.
So.
Russell says, I'm just heading home from doing 3 more sections of London Loop, 150 miles around London. That's awesome. Looking forward to seeing you on the Camino as something I was considering doing too. Cool. Well, awesome. I'm hoping that I can get more information out there about it, so it's easier for folks to get out there and do it. I'm sure we'll make a lot of mistakes, and then other people can learn from that. Catching just a bit of this on my lunch break. Just wanted to say welcome home and good to see y'all. Y'all are awesome. Well, thank you.
Aw, thank you.
Marjorie says, what is the perk update? Okay, good. You're live. Sorry, y'all. My phone said potential spammer calling, so sorry for if it cut out there for a second. Perk is doing well. He is in New Mexico being like a goat farmer right now, which is so funny. I can just see Perk running some experiment like, here are 2 piles of goat patties. And this one, when it's in the shade, dries at a rate of such and such. And the one in the sun dries at a rate of such and such. And this one, after drying slower, burns more efficiently if you use it as a fire starter. You know, just something that he would do just to...
His experiment.
Yes, I can just... But yeah, so he's in New Mexico, staying with a friend right now, and helping them on their goat farm, just kind of as a transitional thing. He just wanted to get out of New York and be somewhere different. And I feel like his friend, he was in the military with this fella, and the fella has like pretty extreme paranoia, and he suffers from PTSD. And so I think it helps Perk knowing that he's helping his friend, if that makes sense. Being out there and spending time with them, and you know, they've
Gives
got
him
a
a
lot of
purpose.
history. Yeah, exactly. And everybody wants to feel that, you know. So anyway, and it's something different for him. It's a way to get out of his home and just do something different. So I wish we could have stopped in New Mexico and seen him.
That would have been nice to see him in his little element.
Yes. What is different about the Camino? So the Camino is going to be, at least the route that we're taking, the French way, is going to be more of staying at albergues, I think is how they say it, but like hostels. It's more about the culture. It's more community. I think it's going to be more interaction with what they call the pilgrims. So that's what they call the folks who are doing this trek. So I think it's going to be more of that, like interactions with people, and I would say like more AT-like in that way than, oh, this beautiful wilderness and nature. I'm not saying there isn't any nature, because apparently from town to town, you are kind of, you know, walking out like in the countryside, I guess. Yeah,
that's going to be so exciting.
But so anyway, I don't know exactly though, because honestly, I haven't watched a ton of info on it, and I try not to like look at too many pictures and stuff, just because I don't know. I like it to be a surprise, you know.
Same thing you did with the trails, basically.
I know.
You didn't really want to see.
No, I was like, I know McAfee Knob exists, but I don't want to see. Like, I just, you know, and that way it's like, I don't know, like I'm reacting to it genuinely because it is. Like, it's not something that I've scoped out. But there are some things that you can't help but see, especially if you meet hikers along the way and they end up ahead of you and you're following them on social media, you know, you see some of it, but still. But yeah, it's going to be more civilized, if you will. Like, we'll get to go to the bathroom on toilets and stuff. But I mean, I guess unless you have to go in the middle of the day.
Oh, I want Montana to dig a hole.
She probably will have to. She probably will have to. I guess, but.
I hope so. Miss Prissy. Yes.
Dixie, glad you have the integrity to do the steps the right way. No cheatsies. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I couldn't sleep at night. I just couldn't do it. Lisa says Dixie meets Rick Steves. Do you know who that is? Who is that? I'm sorry if my blonde hair is shining brightly.
Don't say that.
Quit. My arms are sore. I've been working out with my sister the last couple of days. Ow.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to kiss it.
No, I don't want your poison saliva. Okay, let's see. Curious to know from your mom if this changed how she views what you do. I know she's always proud no matter what. Oh, that's a good question.
Yes. Because now I see firsthand how, well, she always makes it on her videos seem so easy, I guess. And I know she's explained some of the hard areas.
I show my blisters and their
I know you do,
struggle.
But still, it's like I don't
you
see
don't
you
realize
getting them.
You don't realize how bad it sucks until you're doing it.
Until you're actually out there. Yes. And you know, those mosquitoes are all over you and you're feeling it firsthand. Or looking at that steep hill you got to climb and go, oh. And then, you know, well, she don't seem to mind the rocks so bad. I don't know. She doesn't complain about those.
I just got used to them. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm heading to town and I'm in a rush and I want to get there and eat some food, and I think, oh, I've got 7 miles of trail today and it's going to be mostly downhill. Yay, we can get there in no time. And then there are rocks. Rocks slow you down for sure. I mean, they'd slow me down too, but I guess I've become more efficient at it because of all the times I've tried to run over them going to town. But But no, they suck.
Yeah.
I mean, they do.
But yes, I do see it different now because I've witnessed it firsthand.
Well,
and
especially the hitchhiking, probably, huh?
yeah, we didn't do a whole lot of that. Though.
We didn't do a ton of it, but like,
goodness.
think of the
And the
older
people
couple that picked us up. They
and the
seemed
people
like
that we rode with
not
were real
weirdos.
sincere, nice people that just really wanted to help. They weren't like psychos. You know.
And what about you picking up a hitchhiker? Like I never thought you would do, and you said
yes, but it was a girl that.
That's how it all starts, Mom.
Yes.
That's how it all starts. Oh, it was just a girl, and
It
the
was
next
a girl,
time
but
it's
I did recognize her because I ran into her at Snoqualmie Pass when you were out hiking your 70-mile track there. I ran into her at the Aardvark, and we talked a little bit, and so I recognized her, so I stopped and picked her up. And
she would have helped any girl. And also, I think after a few times of doing that, if she saw some dude sitting there, like, that could be my son. That could be Dakota when he was getting a ride to the airport on the CDT. And I think she would.
Yeah.
But that's how it is until you get out there and see the community.
Yes, but I feel, obviously, hikers can be psychos too. You got the one guy on the AT, but still, all in all, I look at them and now I see what they're going through, and knowing that there's been times you've been sitting on the side of the road waiting for a ride. So yes, when I look at them, it's different to me than somebody that's just out on the interstate somewhere hitchhiking.
Well, same for me, yeah. Right.
And so yes, I look at it differently. I do. I really do.
Yeah, for in the hiking world.
Yes.
And when you stand on the side of the road and you have your thumb out and you see so many cars pass, you're like, what's wrong with me? Like, do I look scary? Or like, please just give me a ride.
It's like some of those people just don't really know and they don't understand.
Of course.
So,
Yep. Yep, for sure. Okay, let's see. Rick Steves is a travel guide for Europe, PBS Travel. Oh. Okay. See, neither of us watch much TV, so that's why
we have no clue about anything.
So like we're pretty ignorant when it comes to. Okay.
And we did not turn one TV on in any of the hotels.
The only thing we did is we watched one movie on my laptop.
Yes, but that's different. We'll watch movies.
Yeah, that's all we. Yeah, not one hotel we stayed at did the TV come on. You're right. John says, regardless of how it is, I'm looking forward to following this part of your life journey and we'll be waiting for each update. Awesome. Well, thank you.
Me too. I can't wait.
Thank you. Lloyd says, well, you are both blonde, so it's lucky you made it to California and back home.
Now you're on my list.
He said, being blonde myself, I can say that. True. Fair enough. I'm curious to know more about food on the Camino. I'm kind of confused as I saw some people saying they just eat in towns, but that didn't make sense, thinking a stove is still needed. I mean, I feel like if you eat breakfast in town and then you go hike for the day, so you could carry just a sandwich from town or something, or
for lunch.
Just snacks, some kind of snacks that you don't have to cook. And then if you eat dinner in town again.
But are you going to be able to get to town again?
I mean, I think where else do you sleep? I don't know.
I don't know.
We're figuring it out.
See, that's what I was wondering. I mean, how many miles between towns?
And I think I'm going to carry a tarp just in case, but I don't know. I'm going to look. That's what we're doing Sunday.
I'm really curious about that,
I'll have a pre-Spain Q&A for sure with Montana. She's going to love that. Her awkward turtle self. We're going to have a once we get things going before we head out, we'll do a Q&A and let y'all know of the details that we've discovered.
Oh, I want to be around for that.
Okay.
I'll be a little
fly on the wall
over there somewhere, but I really want to be.
But that's a very good question, and one that I need to find out for sure, but that's my thinking is like we just eat. And just kind of carry snacks to eat like during the day or a sandwich or something like that. So if I don't have to carry a stove, I probably won't. I think I'm probably going to end up carrying a laptop because my pack's going to be so light if it's just day to day pretty much that, why not? I think I probably will though, so that it's just easier to work and upload things and all that. But
if you don't
we'll
have
let
a big food bag to carry,
yeah,
it kind of makes up for it.
Aloha, Dixie. First chance to catch you live. Hana, how do you say that? Hana, who? How? Who? Job well done on finishing your fire closures. I'll do the same before filing my Triple Crown. Well, awesome.
Woo!
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I just then you're complete. You've met, there's no way that yourself or anybody else could deny that you've done it if you've done it, So, well, awesome. Awesome for you. Lloyd says, I think you can see. Oh, and wait, hold on. And first chance to catch you live. Well, awesome. I'm glad that you tuned in. I don't know. It's exciting to me when people are on for the first Q&A. Lloyd says, I think you can see someone invested in backpacking equipment and needing a ride in the country as different from some crazy person in a city. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. Yeah. And I mean, that's just it. I'm not saying that there aren't ever crazy people on the trail, because obviously there are, but it takes a lot more effort to be a crazy person on the trail than just one in town, where people are easily accessible. You have to go do work on the trail to go out there and be crazy, So the thing is, the guy that on the AT, I'm certainly not making excuses for him by any means, but I think that in his mind, he did the right thing to do or something. I think that he was so damaged. I don't know. I don't know what his story is or anything like that, but I think that in his mind, those people were evil and they needed to die or something, because he didn't even run from the cops. They caught him there in the area. So it's not like he killed those people and ran because he knew it was wrong. It's he killed them because the demons in his brain told him to or something. You know what I mean? And so...
and it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, in his mind, they needed to... He was protecting... I don't know, but obviously, the fact that he did it and then camped...
there.
Yeah, and how do you commit such an atrocious act? And if you have any kind of sanity in your brain, just chill out there. I don't know. So I feel like that situation is so rare, though. It's not somebody that was I want to murder people. What was the guy's name? Bundy? Ted Bundy. It wasn't which that's being a monster. And, you can't be normal and do things like that. But I don't know. That was more of a plot thing to me, right? But to go out and do something like that on trail, you have to work for it. So I feel like this dude was out there hiking, and then in his brain, he thought these people were evil somehow or something. I don't know. You could just make guesses all day long and never really know the answer. But it's so rare because millions of people touch the AT every year, and this thing happens so infrequently. But, in cities, people are killing people all the time. So yes, I do feel like in the backpacking community, you're safer as a person picking up a hiker and also being a hiker who's getting picked up than just in the general population, out somewhere else. But okay, let's see. Suzanne says you got to meet the hiker Second Chance, didn't you? How was he doing? We did. We got to meet. His name is Corey, Second Chance hiker. We got to meet him at Jeff's, who is the trail angel that we stayed with in Bend that helped me and Perk and Milestone back in 2017. And I mean, he's a friend of the family now. That's just
yes.
And he came out and hiked with us on the CDT, me and Perk. But anyway, yes, he was staying with Jeff. And so when the night we got in, he was leaving to head out, and he had hurt his back. So we helped him hike in his stuff to where he could take a few days off and everything. But he seemed like he had accepted the injury and, was just trying to heal up from it. And he was excited to meet up with his girlfriend, Little B. But yeah, that's pretty much where he was at. And I haven't talked to him since then, but. Lisa says the trail helped Fancy with her anxiety. Maybe the trail will help Montana with her awkward turtledom. It might pull her out of her shell for real.
Yes.
Especially if she's having to interact with new people and they're trying to hug her.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Hugs.
Because she does not like. She will allow me to sneak in a hug every now and then when other people aren't looking. But
I gave her one when she got home and she was like, ugh. And then a few minutes later she came up and she's like. And gave me a hug. She's like, I felt bad for shunning you after you got home.
See, I think that with me and you, that she will allow us a hug every now and then, but she does not want to hug anybody else. So maybe with that culture, and I think, you know, from my mind and what I know, they're more hugging people, and so she may just have to deal with that, or either she's just gonna go meow.
Yeah, or she'll have to get comfortable with telling people I'm not a hugger.
Yes.
Like, one or the other, which either way is fine. Like,
I'm thinking she's probably gonna give in.
I think so too. Also want to learn more about sleeping setup for the Camino. I think you're still supposed to bring a sleeping bag, but you sleep on mattresses. I'm secretly afraid of bed bugs when I see them take.
My God.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely afraid of bed bugs. I mean, that's something that I've thought about, honestly, since the AT. I remember hearing, oh, such and such place has bed bugs. But it's just, you know, you just gotta roll with it. Like,
and bed bugs
there's nothing
now,
that you can do except try to check the mattress.
Yes, which I did
to start with, and then you were like, whatever, because you're so tired. You're like,
yeah,
take me away, bed bugs. I don't care. I'm just
might have laid in there so tired and then thought about it later and pulled the sheets and looked. But yes, bed bugs are really, you know, coming around more now. So it's like,
good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah. Yes.
But I think, I mean, that's definitely a concern, especially with so many people coming in and out of a place. But it's just part of it.
And they're so easy to spread too.
Yeah. So I mean, it is concerning because you get one place that has it, and then because somebody brought a sleeping bag from home, so now this place is infested with them, and now I take my sleeping bag to that place, and then I go to the next place, and then the next place, and the next place. So I think that that's definitely something that these places have to stay on top of. But you know, if one person puts bed bugs in the bed that night, and then the next night I sleep in it, like it could definitely happen.
And the adult bed bugs are, you know, so big and whatever, but and you can see them, you know, you can see them, but the babies, they're
shaking.
They're tiny, they're like real tiny, and you can't, I mean, you won't even notice them.
Yeah, Mom's seen them on one of her students before, but well, I didn't say what student and like name them and give their address or anything, but and I mean, I don't even know that I've no. But anyway, but she said that she's seen them on one of her students before, and I was like, I'm glad you know what to look for, because I had to Google it to try to, when we were checking the bed and stuff.
And then, well, that's how I learned so much about them, you know, because I was like,
worried that y'all would,
the other students, you know, were going to get them. And
but it wasn't a thing, right?
No.
Okay.
Nobody else.
Yeah. So I mean, it is definitely a concern.
And also, from what I understand, it's very expensive to treat your house for them, like $700 or $800. You know, extremely expensive.
But I mean, we'll just do the best we can. You know, and I mean. Yeah. I think the most important thing will be inspecting all of our stuff before we come home. But and
I'll spray.
I mean, it's a concern, but it's not enough to be like, well, I'm not going to do it, right? I mean, if they killed you when they bit you or something, then I would definitely be a little bit more worried about it. But we'll just do what we can, try to look, and that's all we can do. But yes, we will be taking sleeping bags. I think that Montana will take Mom's probably that she used, and I'll take my quilt that I used on this trip. So John says we are all crazy, just with different levels of craziness. Yes, absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I picked up hitchhikers from the PCT near Crater Lake earlier this summer with no problem. Did you ever run into the Duchess and Flying Dutchman? I know they were flipping around because of snow. I don't
remember that.
Nope. Hey y'all, feels good to be able to say that because there's your mom. How many miles total did you have to make up? Looking forward to the Camino. Oh man. So, I'd really have to, I know I have it all written out, but.
You'll have to total it up.
Yeah, okay, that'll be the thing that I have, that's my homework.
Yes, thank you.
I always end up having some kind of, because Mom asked me to do that too.
Well, I want to know, you know, like.
I'm trying to see if there's.
I'll remember.
You'll remember? Okay.
I want to know like how many she did total, and then I want to know how many Fancy and I did total, and then how many I did because Fancy couldn't do Crater Lake.
So yeah. So we need to get
there's
all three of our
three
individual
figures,
mileage.
yes.
Yeah. So I'll look that up and then I'll post it on a post. But
Good
looking forward to
question.
the Camino. Yeah, that is a good question because I need to figure that out. Any more speaking gigs in the pipeline? Yes. I thought you were gonna say like on the pipeline because there's a pipe that they're trying to run through Chihuahua, and somebody reached out to me to ask me to speak on that, and I'm like, I don't get political. I do not get political. I'm not doing that. I try to introduce people to nature, and then they can, then they're aware of the lands that they have, and they can protect them how they feel like that's, the best to do so. But so I was like, no, but yes, I am speaking in Charlotte at the Blue Blaze Brewing Company or Blue Blaze Brewing.
That's a tongue
I think it is.
twister.
Yeah. On August 18th, and then I'm speaking in November at Wofford College again, but it's for like their incoming freshmen. So I don't know. I think that's more of like a closed deal, but those are the only two speaking gigs that I have lined up as of now. But I definitely want to get some more lined up for sure, especially next year because I'm gonna have off such a big chunk of time before the TA in New Zealand. So. Would you buy and hike in that bug net suit Little B has? I haven't seen, okay, so I saw some people with some bug net like pants. Mm-hmm. I would love to have those so I can hike in shorts still and even leggings, if you want to have those on. They bite through the leg. If you have tight clothes, they bite through.
I had the little red polka dots there.
Yes. So I would, in a heavy mosquito area, having bug pants and a long sleeve shirt, but the bug net, I still haven't ever put one on my face. Mom tried for like 3 minutes. If it was even that long, she said, I kept trying to fool myself. I was like, I'm fooling Jessica and I can do this. No, I can't. And then she took it off. So, but I haven't seen the one that she has, but potentially. And when the mosquitoes are that rough, it's nice to have something.
I just don't like something covering my face.
Yeah.
I could wear something over my arms
and the thing
and my
is,
legs.
most of the time when there are mosquitoes, if you're walking, you're fine. And with having Fancy, we needed to set up the tent to take a break anyway. But when they're so bad that when you're walking, they're still biting you, then it would be really nice to have something like that.
Yes.
Or if I was hiking alone to take a break, it would be nice. But Ryan says, hey, y'all, any plans to attend AT Trail Days 2020? Yes. And I'm also thinking about attending Trail Days on the PCT next year also. I need to write that down.
Trail Days. When is Trail Days? What is it during the summer?
Yes, on the AT, it's in May. So it was, but it's like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday type thing. So, I mean, you could go, you just have to take Thursday and Friday off.
I could do it, yeah.
Okay, you should do it. You could be really sick that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to be sick. I think it's the weekend. I think it's a week after Mother's Day. The weekend after Mother's Day. So
I
you're
don't
sick
have to
that
worry
weekend.
about graduations.
Yeah.
So.
Did Hank shun you again when you came home? No, this is the first time that Hank has he kind of did though. He ran past both of us and kind of ran to nobody, and then he ran to me, but he didn't beeline to you, which is what he normally does. He beelines with whoever I'm with. But I think Carolina was like, this is my mom, Hank, and ran up to her. So Hank was kind of well, Carolina's with her, so I guess I'll run up to my mom. Yeah, it was still hesitant, so I would say it was still kind of a diss.
Yes,
but,
Carolina ran to me,
but it wasn't a hardcore diss, at least. Yeah. But yes, Spain definitely has more hugging and cheek air kisses, so Montana will have to adjust. Yes,
I'm so excited about that. I want you to capture that so we can all see how she.
Yeah, her little awkward self. Bed bugs are a problem for 5-star hotels too. You just have to look. Exactly.
Yes,
yeah, I don't. Exactly. It's not an indication of this place is nasty.
Because anybody can spread them.
I mean, anybody can get head lice, and honestly, the more you wash your hair, the more likely. I shouldn't say that. It's not like on a graph. It's perfectly proportional, but if your hair, but if your hair is greasy, it's harder for them to put the nits on the hair. Ask me how I know. We have struggled with some head lice in this family because one kid gets it from a friend that comes and spends the night, and then everybody and their mama has head lice. So, but But yeah, if your hair is greasy, so you bathe less and it's real oily, then it's harder for them to attach their little eggs. So if you're a clean person, it's actually almost easier to get it. So anyway, probably the same kind of thing, well, not the same kind of thing with bed bugs, but it's not an indication that a place is nasty.
Yes, because you can pick,
it can infest anywhere.
You can go and try on clothes in the store, and if the person before you had bed bugs on them and they get the little tiny ones on, you can get them on you and not even realize it.
Yeah.
So
leave your gear in a hot car and that will get rid of them bed bugs. That's a good idea. Suzanne says, were you both happy overall with all the gear you had except the pads?
Yes.
You needed longer socks.
Well,
the ankle socks rolled down on you. But
yes, that was the only problem really, other than the pads. But because my shoe kept eating my sock.
And you didn't like the X-Lite pad. You liked the one that you have now.
Right.
But but that's still a pad. So other than that, your stuff was good.
Backpack, and the tent was amazing.
Yeah. I like everything.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that I was like, ugh.
And my shoes, I loved my shoes.
Yeah, the Ultras.
And the clothes that I picked out too. I felt comfortable in.
That's good. Were you hesitant? Were you like, oh, I'm not gonna feel, because that's not something that you just normally wear,
Right.
But it works for out there.
It does. Yes, because the sleeves, you can either have them long or roll them up.
And even though it's a long sleeve shirt, it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm so hot in this long sleeve shirt. It's like well ventilated.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that the humidity was a lot lower out there. So yeah.
Yeah, you see why on the AT I wore a tank top because you're in this kind of weather. But on the PCT and CDT, it was like, no, the long sleeve shirt works. But I was good with my gear.
I know something too. It's like riding around, because Montana's been driving me around because I really haven't felt like driving. But it's like I don't want the air conditioner. I like the windows.
Really?
Down. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I tell her, turn the air conditioner off, and she's like, okay. I just figured you would be hot. No, I'd rather have the air.
That's funny.
Natural air.
Get some fresh air. Lloyd says, in the Rockies, I've had those deer flies that really hurt when they bite. Oh, yes. Thankfully, we didn't have a ton of that.
We saw a few little.
There was one that
biting.
bit, but not too bad. Not a question, but just wanted to say thank you for sharing your adventures with us. It's always such a treat. It's the first time I can watch you live. Don't tell my work. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Another first time. And this is why I try to mix it up. Like I try to mix up the times and stuff, because I know some people, work at night, some people during the day, and some on the weekend, some during the week.
And then you have people in other countries.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for being here, and thank you for watching and the support very much. John says, check out Luxe hiking gear. They have some what I think are excellent backpacking tents. Very quick and easy to set up. Not a bad price either. We'll be trying mine out this coming weekend. Awesome. Well, let me know what you think. I'll check those out for sure. But yeah, let me know what you think once you test it out. And I hope you enjoy your trip. Yes. Yeah, it's Friday. It's Friday. Okay, I am going to, since we don't have any more questions here right now, for the folks who could not be here that had some questions, I'm looking at the computer behind y'all if y'all are wondering why I'm looking off into space. So let's see. Robin says, just jumped on a few minutes ago. Not sure this is still live. It is still live. We're live. Welcome. And we're here. Yes. Yes. Okay, so Jamie says, hi Dixie, your inspiration has inspired me to do something I've wanted to for a long time. I live in Central Virginia, so I'm close to the AT. I'm introverted and would rather do a hike by myself, and a lot of my friends and family say that going alone is a bad idea, but no one is willing to go with me, and like I said, I'm introverted. Any advice on what to say? Thank you so much. I say tell them to mind their own beeswax. I'm just kidding. No, for real though, Jamie, I mean, especially there are pros and cons to hiking with people and hiking solo. When you're solo, you don't have to consider anybody else's thoughts or feelings or what they want to do or where they want to camp or anything like that. But you also aren't like sharing potentially some of the greatest moments of the trip with somebody, right? You don't have that person be like, isn't this awesome?
And learning stuff from other people.
Yes. However, though, on the AT, there are people out there all the time. So chances are, let's see. So are you planning on going for like a section? Or are you planning, I know you can't answer this right now, but regardless, I guess if it's like prime hiking season, probably still going to run into other people. If you go on a thru hike, you will never be alone, really, unless you want to be. And people respect each other. It's not like somebody's going to cling to you. Well, for the most part, that doesn't normally happen. And if they do, then you just tell them, okay, I'm going to hike by myself now. But most people out there are respectful of one another. So a lot of folks out there are introverted, and they're totally fine with another introvert, like wanting to be alone. And sometimes you can hike with people, like Perk and I'll hike together, but we hike alone together. It's like we don't really say anything. We're off in our little world, but we're like actually hiking together. But there really are pros and cons to both. There are so many people who hike solo. So I'm going to say there's no problem with it. Now, does that mean that, you're as safe solo as you would be potentially with somebody else? No, obviously not, because, if you have somebody there that if you get hurt, they can call for help, etc., then obviously that's more safe. But so many people are out there hiking solo. If you have something like a spot device or something like that, a personal locator beacon to where you can tell these people who love you and are worried about you going alone, like, hey, I'll have a way to communicate with you and let you know I'm okay, or hey, I have a way to call for help if I get hurt, then that might help, ease their mind. But it's just a very common thing that people hike solo. So I say get out there and go for it. And as far as how to comfort them, let them know that you'll tell them your plan, like where you're going, what your plan is, like to leave, to be back. Give them a map of the specific area. For my mom, when I thru hiked the AT, I gave her a copy of the AWOL guide, and I would be like, Mom, if you look at page 63, I'm right there today. Mm-hmm. And when I had service, I would always text her and let her know what mile marker I was at. Once I got the inReach, I texted them every night on trail and let them know I'm at mile such and such, and also sent my location on that. So I think that there are certainly ways to help people feel better when you're out there. I think keeping them informed is also a safety thing for yourself.
Right. And as mom, on the AT, it broke my heart knowing she was going alone. She was starting this alone, but she's such a social butterfly that, she met all these other people and, and she made friends. And so that made me feel better that she did have a group she was hiking with. And on the AT, there's so many more people. Yeah. So I knew that
somebody's coming along.
Someone eventually, yes. So if she did fall down and get hurt and she couldn't walk or whatever, I knew that then, yes, somebody would eventually come along. Yeah. But then when I knew she was going to be hiking the other trails that there weren't as many people, it made me feel better knowing that she did have the inReach and that she could contact me because she didn't have that on the AT. So she could tell me at night, this is where I'm at.
Or the PCT.
Or so that, she could, call for help if she did get hurt, Yeah. So that gave me more peace of mind.
Right.
So, as a mom, that's my point of view. So
yeah, I agree. Tim says, it seems to me that a lot of solo hikers do their hike solo during the day, but find a camping spot with people either by choice or just incidentally. Yes, I agree. Yeah, a lot of times you're hiking in your own little world during the day, and then it's like nice to have that interaction at night. And as an introvert, I think you can certainly spend time alone. But you can give reassurance to your family that the AT is a pretty popular trail, so somebody's going to be along. Okay, let's see. When going overseas, I suggest sleeping on the flight over. Do not try to stay up all night over the Atlantic. Well, yeah. That'd be the goal for sure, but I don't know.
Well, Montana's going to be so scared.
We're going to have to take I'm going to have to give Montana Benadryl. Yes. Like, for real. Like, she's like a little little
She
baby
is so
I'm trying to
scared.
knock out or something.
We were driving around yesterday, and she goes, oh, "Look at that airplane up there. It's just kind of going like this and like this, and you know." So before, when she's never really paid any attention that much to airplanes, now every airplane she sees, you know, she's like honed in on it and
Yes,
watching what
she's
it's
so
doing.
scared of that, but
Hmm.
yeah, she's gonna be fine.
That's gonna make a good video in itself.
Ah, Montana's freak out moments. Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely try to sleep. But Suzanne says Central VA here to go for it. I wish I could. Yeah, I agree. Virginia's a pretty state too. Okay, let's see. We had another question that says, here we go. Oh, Jim says, great pick, me and mini-me, Super Mom and Super Dixie. Dixie are so cute together. Do you, or have you always dressed alike, or did you find a BOGO sale? No, it was just worked out that we both ended up getting shirts that matched.
We're similar color. Yeah, they were different color.
They actually
but they
were,
yes.
They were pretty close.
But they were very similar.
And then congrats on closing your PCT footsteps and great job to your awesome mom and Fancy too. The photo that you put on your Facebook group of the Milky Way was fantastic. What lens did you use on your Sony and what settings did you use? I am going to have to message you, or I'll post this on there too.
Okay, Milky Way and our mileage.
Okay, Milky Way and mileage.
I'm
Okay.
keeping up.
Yes. So I'm going to post that on there. It was the settings, I want to say, yeah, I'll post it. I'll post it when, yeah, with mom. But mom will remind me, I mean. Yes. And let's see, do you ever back up your camera photos while on the trail, and if so, how? Normally, I upload them to Dropbox, and I did do that this time, but I also, I would drop on the computer, which I should have done with my phone, and then upload them to Dropbox. So that's how I do it. But also, like if the card takes a regular SD card, you can get the little converter deal where it looks like a regular SD card, but a micro SD slides in there. And then I also have a little thing that I can plug into the lightning port on my iPhone that holds a micro SD card. And so I upload it from the camera to Dropbox through my phone if I don't have a laptop. So, and message me if you want more information on that little device, but or what I used. But yeah, for the camera settings, for the time lapse or the video, the shot of the Milky Way, I'll let you know. Okay. And Michelle says, I recently went on my 4th backpacking trip. I used to be scared of it. My boyfriend tried to get me to go for years. I came across your channel in 2017 and thought, she's the same age as me. She's also a woman. If she can do this, why can't I? Exactly. So I gave it a shot for the first time last year and love it. I wish I could go backpacking every weekend. Thank you for sharing your journeys with us and for inspiring me to step outside my comfort zone. Well, thank you, Michelle. And let's see, Jim had another question. Dixie, what's the most miles in one day on AT, PCT, and CDT, and where?
Does that count your challenge?
Yes. The AT, I think it was 33 miles, and that was in Maryland, Pennsylvania area. The PCT was 62 miles, and that was Hat Rim Creek area. The CDT, I honestly don't remember. It was a 30-something mile day, though. And I don't know where that one was. Just discovered Maryland, 40 miles, part of the AT has a 24-hour challenge, also called 4-state challenge in one day. Yes. Yeah, we had thought about doing that, but I didn't want to see all, like, some of those would have been all in the dark, and so I just didn't want to do that. Thru-hikers call it the Death March. It's the longest, flattest section on the entire AT. Record for a mile walked in 24 hours is 108 miles, Guinness Book of World Records. Cool. Well, that's kind of cool to know.
Yeah.
So I did over half of that anyway. But not great, but that's crazy. That's insane. They were running.
Yeah.
Jim also says, Dixie, what's y'all's favorite color? I think black is my favorite color now.
Blue.
Yeah.
Like a royal blue for me.
Yeah. Craziest food combination you have ever eaten? I don't know. I'm pretty boring when it comes to food.
Famous. What did it say
The craziest food combination you have ever eaten?
Food combination.
Like things that you
put together.
I'm boring when it comes to food, I guess.
Mayonnaise and peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Yay.
Wow.
And what happened?
I don't know. Ooh, sorry, y'all. Can you hear us?
Something.
Yeah, I don't know if the internet just went out at Mom's or what, but I connected to the LTEs and now we're back. So hopefully y'all can hear me. It looks like it's counting time. Y'all let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully y'all can still type and stuff. Okay, let's see. So, okay, awesome.
Yes.
Tim says yes, I hear. Okay, yay. Sorry about that, y'all. I have no idea what happened. I heard a noise, so like on that
like
computer
on
or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the internet may have gone out, but we're on LTE now, so we're all good.
Yeah,
okay.
Because see, that's still.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is. Okay, so we were on Jim's question. Same question for Perk, Aaron, or another hiker you have witnessed. I don't know what their craziest food combos are. Perk has eaten some crazy things, but I don't know. We just try to get fancy with it. Like Perk and I had smoked salmon one time. That was like in a package. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We didn't really get like gross or weird with it. It was just like tried to get fancy. Let's see. Questions for Supermom. What's the biggest highlight and low light of the PCT hiking trip? And how did this change y'all? How did the trip change y'all? I guess we kind of covered that. So the highlight was Crater Lake. The low light was mosquitoes. And then how did this trip change y'all? I think, well, it made my siblings appreciate my mom more. I think it made her feel more loved and appreciated when she got home.
And my friends.
Yeah, her friends missed her.
I went to a pool party yesterday with my friends, and they were all excited when I drove up, and because they've been pool partying on every Thursday, and I haven't been here, so and they were waiting to plan a girls' day out until I got back. So she
felt loved.
Yes, by the family and my friends.
And how did this, or what did you learn about yourself? Oh yeah, that's a good one. Anything
what did I learn about myself?
That you don't mind doo-dooing in a hole?
Well, that's one thing. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, when that urge hits, you're like, I don't care anymore. Like, this has to happen. So it's like it can be cold, there can be mosquitoes, but when you finally get the urge to do that, it's like...
Yeah, because if you gotta
happen. Yeah.
But it may, I still was getting like calls from my kids. Mom, how do I do this? And
how do I wash my lab coat at Rebecca?
Yes, her
white
coat,
pharmacy coat.
Yeah. How do you usually? Because I've been cleaning it for her, and so now she wanted to know what my magic was.
Yeah. How do you make it so white?
So it made me feel good. I mean, even though they do.
They're independent, yes.
But there's still little things that they wanted me to do for them because Mom does it best. And then it made me feel good that, they realized that. And they had to call and ask me, Mom, how do you do this? How do you do this? And so, and now I know they're going to do those things for themselves too, and they learned something. So that made me feel good. So.
Yeah, you've shed some of your duties by disappearing.
Yes.
By walking out on your children.
Yes, but now I get back though, and I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to sit around and wait and see who's going to cook dinner. Yeah. But now I can see that not much dinner cooking was done. So I'm still going to have to fill that role. But
yeah. And Jim said, thanks, Rhonda. So sorry about your fur baby, Carolina. Prayers for healing.
Thank you.
And then let's see.
I need all the prayers for her that you can give.
Okay, and then Lindsay, and this is the last one we have on here for the folks who can be here, and then I'll jump back over. Lindsay says, glad to hear y'all made it back safely. I was wondering if you notice a significant difference in the cold coming up through your sleeping pad at night now that you're using a quilt with an uninsulated pad. No, now the pad is, okay, so the pad is insulated, like it has an R value, right, I think I can't remember if the X lights are 3 or or 2.5. I think it's 2.5. And the Uber lights were 2. So there is still some like insulating property to that pad. Otherwise it'd be freezing. But it says, I'm debating what kind of R value would hold up through an entire through hike from desert to snow. My X-Lite, so an R value, I believe it's a 2.5. The women's X-Lite, though, I think might be a 3. And it is just a little more narrow, but they make up for the weight. It's the same weight as like a regular pad, but it's a little more narrow because it's more insulated, so they had to cut the weight somewhere. I guess they feel like women are generally a little more slender than, a broad man. But anyhow, so yeah, I think it's a 2.5, and that worked fine for me on a through hike. But I haven't noticed that the pad feels colder, that I feel colder, because really the sleeping bag, if you're laying on it and you're compressing that down, it's pretty much useless anyway. I'm sure it still helps a little bit, but so I didn't notice being colder because of that. Now this quilt was a 30-degree quilt, and most nights I still stayed warm, but I would not want to take the 30-degree on a through hike. I would at least have had a 20, but preferably probably a 10. So for me personally. Okay, now let's
you get
see.
cold really easy.
I do.
So.
I freeze.
I do too, but not as bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Just have to convince Montana that you live right up until you are called home. And no, I'm not religious, just pragmatic. Yeah, true. Are you practicing some basic phrases in Spanish? Probably would be a great opportunity to learn a bit. No, I mean, I took Spanish 1 and 2 in high school, which has been a very long time ago. Montana did also. Yes. So I think being able to read certain things will be fine. There's always Google Translate. No, we have not been working on that, though. We really haven't. But yes, I think when we come back, we'll probably have learned a few things for sure, and it would be helpful if we did brush up on that some.
Funny.
Yeah, it is. On your AT trip, it was a little scary when you slept in the shelter where the woman disappeared, but even then it turned out she had issues. There wasn't any random danger. Right. Yeah, exactly. Dawn says, I love talking about your travels with the park rangers here at Rocky Mountain National Park. You have many fans. Oh, well, thank you. That's awesome. I mean, I love Rocky Mountain National Park. It's gorgeous. Robin says, was probably 30-something miles right after you met up with the cougar. Let's see. Wait, what was 30-something miles? It's probably 30-something miles. Oh, my biggest day on the CDP.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, right? Yeah,
Get
probably
the heck
so.
out of
Yes. Okay, this is where Marty says it's good now. Hi, Marty. Yes, we can hear and see much better. Can hear you, hearing y'all just fine. Lloyd, RJ says, any bear sightings this time out? No.
She was disappointed.
I was disappointed.
But I think I was kind of happy. I was a little afraid to see.
I know. I was like, Mom, maybe at Crater Lake we'll see bear. Because I figured with Fancy we wouldn't, but
Yeah, she was disappointed. I was not, so.
I wanted to see a bear. I wanted Mom to see a bear. I wanted to watch Mom crap her pants when she saw a bear. That's basically what it boils down to. Okay. Lloyd says, so it's not just us men that are helpless, girls are too.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. I heard a podcast about the Oregon Desert Trail. Sounds like less of a trail and more of a navigation by map on grounds with little to no trail. What do you think about that sort of trekking? Honestly, I'm tired of the desert.
If I could.
I think the desert wore me out because stressing over Fancy overheating.
Yes, I was very concerned about her too. Yeah. And it's not any fun. I mean, it's just boring. And it's hot.
Your face looks so disgusted. You're just like,
it was boring.
But they're cool. She didn't get to see any horny toads and, We didn't even find any poodle dog bush, so we couldn't think that somebody was smoking weed around the corner and then realize it's something that you don't want to touch because it'll break you out into hives. And
Well, I'm certainly
like
glad
the fun
I
of all
didn't.
Mom, some of the misery makes it the most fun.
I had enough misery. It was too hot.
Yeah.
It was hot, and it was sand, and it was
the heavy water, and
yeah.
I just so anyway, I guess to answer your question is, if I'm gonna have to be out somewhere like navigating no trail, I think I'd rather it just be like wilderness, not desert. Maybe even like Alaska, like Andrew Skurka, who made that grizzly bear. He scared the doo-doo out of a grizzly bear.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it speaks to him, and there are videos on that, but...
You'll have to show me.
Yeah, I will. So, yeah, I don't know that I would enjoy that, but look, Marty has blonde hair now.
I see
His
that.
little emoji. His
Yeah.
little... the desert is uniquely beautiful, though, yeah. Yes, I think so. Mom may not agree. I have to say, especially the PCT desert, it was way more pretty than I thought it was going to be. Like, you think of a desert, and you think of, like, flat, sandy, I don't know.
Right. It was pretty, and I'm glad that I did get to experience that, but it would not be my number one choice if I were to go somewhere.
Agree. Yeah,
again.
Especially the navigating, because to me, if there's a risk of water and all that, but some people love the desert. I mean, it's different folks, different strokes, or however you say that. Different strokes
for different folks.
Go. Yeah, different folks for different strokes.
I guess it works.
But yeah, so some people prefer the beach to the mountains, and the mountains to the beach.
Right.
But, yeah. The desert is not so beautiful, but I do like New Mexico. I like the PCT desert way more than the CDT desert as far as backpacking, mainly because of the water sources. So drinking out of cow pond water is
had pretty
we did.
Pretty significant amount of water.
Yeah, we did.
Sources.
We were good until the end.
Yeah.
Near Crater Lake. Yeah, all of Crater Lake, the rim trail, and all of the 18-mile stretch before the rim trail. We had to tote all of our water for that. So.
But as far as in the desert part, you know.
Yeah.
In
California, even in California in the desert.
We had a good supply of water.
We were good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, New Mexico all of those areas are like brutally beautiful. Like somehow it's rugged and gorgeous. I don't know.
Oh, Iraq.
Yes, he's in Iraq. So he says the desert here is not so beautiful, is what he said. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine not. I imagine it's not so beautiful, but yeah, well, I don't know. It was a good trip, though.
It was.
It felt like you got to see like a little highlight taste of just everything, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
The desert, the snow.
The freezing cold rain.
The forest.
Yeah. The forest desert.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. The hordes of mosquitoes and being hot, being really hot and being really cold, and sometimes in the same day.
Something else that I got better at too was crossing the creeks and stuff.
Yes, she did.
I was like so careful and scared at first, and then towards the end, I just was like hopping rocks.
She was. Let's see. Well, we are super excited for the next one too on the Camino. Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting pretty pumped up for that. Just the opportunity to capture something different. Yeah,
and
it's going to be a challenge.
Go to a different country.
Sorry, I'm late, and you probably already answered this, but which pack will you take on the Camino?
You can take mine if you want to. Or is Montana taking
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Or Montana might want her own. I don't know yet. That's a really good question, because we could probably downsize, carry something smaller, but I'm not sure yet. That's a good question. I will let you know when I figure it out for sure. Lisa says, "Are you still considering bike packing?" Yes. So I'm especially thinking about that. After after marriage and children, like bike backpacking would be a cool thing to take kids to do. I think, having the little trailer thing to pull them behind, and it's an adventure that you can go on where you're not having to like tote the children, like. So, I think that one would be a cool one. So yes, I am. I don't necessarily only want to adventure through backpacking. Also floating the Mississippi. I've said before that would be really cool. Just a different kind of adventure, yeah, just all sorts of things like that. As long as I'm outside and I'm seeing new stuff, it would be awesome.
At one of the events I went to, there was a group set up that it was mom. I don't remember the name of the club, but it was backpacking moms.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was called. And I saw that, and I'm like, oh.
There was a Hike It Baby. There's like a Hike It Baby group or something like that. The people who backpack with their babies.
Yes.
Or hike with their babies. But yeah.
Because they said just because you have a family now doesn't mean you
can't get out
stop,
and do that. Yeah, exactly.
Teach your children.
How long will the Camino take? So the great they, if you Google it, Google says 30 to 35 days. So I assume with recording and all of that, that it'll be 35, probably 35 to 40.
And sightseeing.
Yeah, and we want to do some, we're going to see the Eiffel Tower before we start. And then once we get done, Montana's wanting to go see Italy. I do also. So I think that we'll probably be gone, I imagine, about 2 months. That's what we've kind of estimated. So if we're leaving at the beginning of September, then we should be home at the beginning of November. So that's the rough plan anyway. Do you think you'll continue on from Santiago de Compostela to the sea at the end of the Camino? I think it's only a few extra days. Yes. Montana and I have already talked about that. A lot of people have recommended walking the extra, I think it's like 50 to 100 miles or something, to walk to the sea. And I mean, if we've come that far, we're probably just
Montana says yes now.
Does she? Yeah. Well, yeah. I see what you're saying. But when we hit that, I'm like, do you want those bonus miles still? Yeah, I think we will.
Let's see what she says then.
Let's put it this way. I'm going to. She can meet me there by bus if she would like.
Yes, and you're gonna have to make sure she wears that knee brace.
Yes. Yes. And takes her stomach pill. I know, Mom. Yes. I got it. I got her.
Second mommy.
Yes, second mommy. Let's see. Would you consider the 6,800-mile American Discovery Trail? I don't know. Is that the one that's... Where is... I'm trying to remember exactly what that one is. I know people have told me about that one before, and I know I've looked that one up before, but I don't know. Potentially, but to me, about 6 months is where I'm like, okay, I'm good. So that would be like a year. So I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, Tim, where is that one again exactly? Like, where does it start and finish? Kevin says, Delaware to Point. How do you pronounce that? Rees. Right. Yeah, I don't know that I would. I shouldn't say no. But spending a year backpacking would be a for sure challenge. So potentially, maybe at some point, but it's not on the radar right now. I think before I did that, I would start doing some different, like I was talking about, like canoeing or bike packing. Kevin says, hello, this is Kevin. It gave you and Aaron a ride up the pass from Steamboat last year. Yes! I've been doing some trail magic and given lots of rides this year. This year. Wow, I can't read. Thanks for all of your videos and info. Thank you again for that ride. That location was the worst I had for mosquitoes. I don't remember if when you dropped us off, like they were bad at that time too, but the day before they were like super awful. And we were standing there trying to get a hitch.
I remember you telling me
Yes,
that.
we were trying to get a hitch and these mosquitoes were just like pegging us. And I was like, folks are going to think that we're like drug addicts or crazy, because we're like, just like slapping all over and like putting our thumbs out.
Did you slap Aaron a couple of times?
No, I was too busy getting him off of me. He's a grown man. He can get him off himself. But so anyhow, yeah, we were just getting like attacked. And so we got picked up and went to town. But Kevin brought us back from town. So thank you again very much. And I think that's awesome that you're giving rides and helping folks out. And I'm sure they've been like, thank you so much, because it really... It's just so wonderful when you've got somebody that'll help out like that. But that's cool that you're doing Trail Magic is starting the Colorado Trail in 3 weeks. Woo woo! That's going to be awesome. Let me know how you like it. Let me know how it goes. Keep me posted on that. Kevin says it's just as bad this year. The mosquitoes. Man, that spot, I don't know. I guess the water sources there and the cattle troughs and whatnot, but like they are rough in that spot. I mean, that's the first time I ever saw mosquitoes where I couldn't out hike them. Every other time had been, as long as I was moving, they weren't attacking me, but they were just as bad or worse this year on the PCT where we were at. So, but yeah, that's awesome, Kevin, that you're helping folks out. And thank you again for that ride. We really, really appreciated that. And it worked out nicely. Like we didn't have to spend forever like waiting on a ride. So that was...
she's told me about that. And how bad the mosquitoes were and how they were hoping for a ride so bad.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you again. And good luck on the Colorado Trail. It's gorgeous. That's something I honestly probably could see myself doing the Colorado Trail at some point later, not in the super near future, but that would be a great trail. It's beautiful. Watch out for the lightning. It gets a little rough there. Anyway, well, does anybody else have any other questions? If not, then I guess we will sign off. We've got 28 right now. We've had up to 35, I think was the high. Not the high temperature-wise for today, but the high of patrons on the Q&A. But anyway, thank you all so much for everything, for allowing this trip to happen, and for, me being able to take Mom out there, because, I don't know, it was good to be able to feel like an only child again, except when they would call and annoy you while we were out there, but, it's okay. I guess I can share you some, but yeah, it was a good trip, and let's see.
It was good, yes, to not have service.
Yes.
But they knew they could
That's
reach.
the most peaceful time is when you're out on a trail and you're in your tent and there's no service. And even though you might want to talk, you can't, so we had the in-reach, but it was just, it's like, oh, I don't know if I got any emails or not, or, oh, there's nothing that has to be done because I don't know what needs to be done. And
then, like the rest of the family, they know that, like when we don't have service, that they do have the in-reach. So if anything happens,
anything bad,
right.
Let's see. Finished the first 100 miles of the CT last week. Awesome. That's the Colorado Trail. My first long hike, thanks to Dixie. No, thanks to you getting out there and doing it. Met some AT alums that said the Colorado Trail was like butter compared to the train on the AT. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to compare to me because the elevation will take your breath away, and not just because everything's beautiful, but because you can't breathe up there with no oxygen. But compared to the Appalachian Trail, the AT is up, down, like it's very rough. I've never been as sore in my life as I was on the AT from walking. But yeah, each trail has its own unique challenges. So, yes, thank you for answering all my questions. Looking forward to the rest of the PCT videos and the Camino coming soon. Jimmy says, thank you, ladies. All the best. Well, yeah, thank y'all again so much for stopping by today, for all of the support over the years. Some of y'all have been here with me for years now, literally, and for being able to finish the Triple Crown finally, complete it. It's just a great feeling, and being able to do that with my mom was awesome.
It was wonderful.
And hopefully now she'll get out and backpack some, that she's got the gear, and her children have flown the coop for the most part, and she needs her own thing to do.
Yes, but I would like to have someone to do it with.
Yeah, I don't. No, there are groups.
I would prefer to have someone to do it with than to go solo.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
Yeah, All right. Well, everyone have a good weekend. And thank you again for stopping in. I know some of y'all are sneaking in at work. So we appreciate y'all being here. Lisa says, hope to hear Wander Mama tales in the future.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I think we will go. And since Dakota, my brother, now likes it also, Marty's wanting to go. And so we're going to have
we could go do
a group family hike, I think.
The Pinhoti Trail.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
It's close by.
It is. It is.
That would be fun.
It would, and the Pine Mountain Trail that's in Georgia, it's pretty. So.
Yep.
Tim says, thank you and Wonder Mama so much for allowing us to live vicariously through you. Well, thank y'all for allowing us to. So Lisa says, thanks, ladies. Have a good weekend. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Thank you for this live update.
Yes.
Thankfully, it's slow at work. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I will update y'all soon.
It's Friday.
I will keep y'all posted on everything with the planning of the Camino with Montana. We'll probably do a Q&A. I don't know if it'll be next week. If not next week, then probably the next one to kind of update you with our plans, and then hopefully one like right before we go. So be looking out for that. And for those of y'all who I'm getting with to do some pack shakedowns and helping you with your individual trips, we'll get that lined up. And anyone who has sent a message that I haven't gotten back to yet, I think I'm pretty much up to date except for like yesterday and potentially the day before. So if you've sent a message longer than 2 days ago and I've not gotten back with you, then shoot me another message, because sometimes it just gets jumbled up. And in the trips we've done, or if you left a comment and I didn't get back to it, it's just sometimes some of the stuff falls in the cracks, and I don't want anyone thinking I'm just ignoring them or that I didn't get it. Well, I might not have gotten it, but I'm not ignoring you. So if you haven't heard back from me and you reached out longer than, just a couple days ago, then let me know. And that stuff, I'm going to post our total mileages and my Milky Way settings. Okay. All right. I think I have everything. All right, y'all. Well, I will see you later. Bye.
Bye.